Hey everyone, hope you're all having a great day today. Thanks for joining me on May 12th. And as always, we are not financial advisors, and everything you see on here is for educational purposes only. All right, let's get started with BTC. So we can finally take out this 27,125 because we finally hit our target. We actually knocked out the second white fib as well, 26,508. So the only one we have now is the 3100. And remember, we mentioned since we had a white fib at top and bottom, it's either we were going to go down and then up, or if we go up, then we would come back down because the both open targets on either side. Ever since we dropped below this little triangle pattern, we've been dumping all the way down. And at this point, we finally might actually hit the bottom of this reverse flag pattern that I talked about, how it always does this. And there's also a chance it could even drop even further down to make that reverse flag pattern, but we'll take it step by step. For right now, we finally also might go to my other target that I've had for a bit, which was this area here, which is the bottom trend line here, which is 25,200 area. If we get below this trend line, then we might be in a really bad spot. For Bitcoin, that is. Obviously, for me, every time it drops, I like to buy. I've been buying every single dip. And what's helped us out to know that, overall, since back here, I've been saying, hey, overall, we're in a bearish trend still. I can see it's dropping all the way back down. And it sucks that I couldn't call this as a top, which, like I mentioned a few times, like I stated, you know what, I feel like this is our top, but because the white fib's there, it kind of sucks, but it feels like it's our top. The white fib is still here, so it's still going to eventually come back up, so we're not in a bad spot. But, we do see us dropping back down to the 25, and that's obviously going to cause a lot of other alts to drop back down. And they're not as bad. Near finally hit its second support area. Remember how I made the video with a bunch of different support areas? Matic dropped below its support area, so next support area would be all the way down here. Around it's actually kind of touching it too, around like 80 cents. Solana is still holding strong. This is one I would have thought would have also dropped all the way back down. Remember, Sol still has a open target at 1557, so this is how far down it has to come back down. But looking at the dollar, yesterday I mentioned we would head back up to the 101. We went through it, actually broke through it nicely, and then last night we were in a red candle, and I mentioned, I can see us pushing back up because we finished a strong green candle. We should see another one, and this could finally be, I talked about how we would stay on this trend line, slowly start heading back up. Well, we might actually finally start heading back up, and I've also mentioned because we have to come all the way back up to 104, 105, and I know a lot of people out there are like, oh, dollar's gonna crash. No, it's not. It's gonna come all the way back up to that. Keep in mind, it still has to come back up to 110. That's even more crazier. So. And it's not going to go straight up. Obviously, it'll do some upwards, then down, then up, then down, then up, But overall, this is how I know, down the road, Bitcoin still has to drop back down. But in this process here, I always posted that it would be like this. So it's kind of pretty much following on track. It's been delayed, but it's on track. So still, calling it right in a sense. Let's see what else. If we go over to Paul, I think Paul's pretty much done. 7%. Gonna wait for it in the updates. So take out this buyout area, drop back down. So it's kind of just slowly dropping down. It's kind of holding where it's at now, but I can still see it drop back down a little bit more. But remember, like I mentioned, once it broke out of this, it was pretty much done. So now it's 50% down. This is why some of these coins, if I mention, hey, there's a top, might as well just let it be. I know there's a lot of hype and people are like, oh, over here. And even I know Tim posted this really nice high target, but I kept telling people to be honest, I would just move on. And hopefully we can nail the next one, right? This was a really good entry where we talked about and we went all the way back up. Let's see if we can find another one. But other than that, come back to Bitcoin. Again, we can see it slowly drop back down to the 25,200, and then we'll have to take it from there. I would have wanted this one to play out instead, where we kind of went up more. We went up to the white fib, went up, be able a chance to get out and then drop because I couldn't get us out right here. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for today. Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty interesting. Dollar's still pushing up, so this is slowly gonna be pushing down. So again, every time there's a dip, remember, always buy your coins, right? You know, we're still in the sideways area. You know, I'm starting to see more and more people talk about this. You know, we've had this for a few months now, where, you know, we're in a sideways market. We've gone up, down, up. We're probably going down. We'll probably go a little up, down, and then kind of go to here, and then slowly go up. And this is where we slowly start heading up, peak, and then start coming back down. So remember, this is the year where you want to buy all your coins. So buy every dip, and then just write it 2024. You can still add along the dips, but after that, like mid 2024, you don't buy anything else, and you just let your money ride. But all right, I'll see you guys on the next update. Now, if you're trying to get more information on the market, if you want to stay up to date with the market, or just looking for a good community, in the description below, I did post my link to my website, which is tinderkidder.com. In here, you can find a link to Ko-fi or Patreon, which will give you access to the premium side of this channel and group. So I have two levels. I have that really stand out. You know, I have the peace of mind, and I have the edge. And the reason I named these names is because it's kind of what you get out of it, right? On the peace of mind, you do get peace of mind when it comes to the market. You know, you're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be shocked with what's going on. You know, just the other day, I sent out an alert on a signal talking about, hey, the market looks like it's going to dump. Somebody like triggered something that kind of lets me know, hey, there's going to be a big drop. And, you know, 15 minutes later, big old drop happened. And then the same thing happened back over here. So nobody in the room's like, oh, surprise, oh, we dropped back down, right? And this is why I call it peace of mind, because you do get that peace of mind out of it. Then I have the edge tier, which the reason I call it edge, because you get the edge on the market, right? You're not just going to be blindly going into the market and not knowing what's going to happen. And I'm going to go over these tiers right now. So with the, sorry, I almost said edge, but with the peace of mind, you get access to the crypto room here. Edge also includes this, but you just get a little more. So you get, you know, access to market updates. We have our general chat. We have our crypto chat where everybody talks about what's going on. We have daily play. This is where I post all of my stuff. So my stuff won't get buried in, you know, a chat room where no one can see it. For the edge tier, you actually get access to the Zoom scheduler. So you can actually schedule one-on-one Zooms with me so we can go over your portfolio, you know, certain coins you're interested in, you just weren't sure about it. You know, some people have had issues with their wallets. I help them recover that. I've had people who just want to vent. You know, sometimes we just talk about certain things, and, you know, it helps them calm with the market, you know, so they're not too upset with what's going on. You know, maybe they got into a meme coin that's down 95% or anything like that. So it's really cool, and a lot of my members love this. We also have the newsroom where we post, you know, newsworthy information. Planned orders is where you can see what people are buying or selling. We have our group Zooms every now and then. Hidden gems room where people post, you know, unique coins that are just coming out. Passive income room for, you know, staking and all that stuff. We have a marketplace where people are buying and selling from each other. Tips and links in here. So there's a lot of links for like good, cool YouTube videos that you can watch about stop losses, you know, technical analysis. In here's where I always put the newest Signal link. And the Signal link is one thing I recommend for everybody, because this is where I'll send you emergency alerts. Like if I see the market's about to dump, I will send a message here that's separate from all your other messaging apps. So that way, you know, because a lot of people like to keep everything else muted, because sometimes, you know, people are posting too much, and this is the one that you can leave on, and this will let you know, like, hey, this is emergency. Like, hey, we're about to pump, we're about to dump, or hey, you know, something big is going to happen. Then we have charts where you can actually see what people are requesting. If you're on the edge tier, you're allowed to actually request. If you are on the, you know, peace of mind, you can only view what other people are requesting. But here you can actually request all the coins you want to see. So I post them here, you know, corresponding to the alphabet. And some of these will be like this. You know, someone talked about 1. Well, now you know that 1 has to drop back down to 0.013. So if you were looking to buy this coin, I would suggest waiting until it drops to that price before getting in. Because you don't want to get in and it's going to drop back down to this price. And now you would have wished you held off. So you get that advantage, you get that edge right off the market, because now you know when to get in and when not to get in. Another one that we were talking about, and I actually need to do a separate video on this because I didn't add it to the main video, but, you know, down here I mentioned, hey, so a member actually showed us this coin, and down here I mentioned, hey, you know what? This thing's about to take off, and it did take off. Once we were up here to this area, I was like, hey, you know what? This could probably be the top. And I drew this area here where we can drop back down to, and look, we barely missed it before it came back up. Now I'm gonna update them on this shortly. And then down here we have, a place for woo woo in case you're into conspiracy stuff or anything like that. We have a astrology room, we have a spiritual room, and then we have two other rooms right here. These are our little kept secrets. We won't go into it too much. We also have a free trading room, so if you know anybody that actually is into trading, also the link is in the description below. If you're on the edge tier, you actually get an additional room where it gives you additional coins instead of just the free ones. But yep, that kind of breaks down my 2 levels of the premium. So again, if you want to stay up to date, I suggest joining us. We have a really good community. Everybody helps everybody out here. Nobody FOMOs, nobody's upset, nobody, is shocked by what's going on with the market. I've had members even tell me, like, sometimes it's kind of boring because we already know what's going to happen, right? There's not that like feeling of like not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, right? It's like, oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? We kind of already know what's going to go, like, right? And if we know we're going to drop and it goes up, we know it's going to come right back down. So if you made it this long, thank you for staying this long, and maybe I hope to see you in the room. All right, bye.